Well, like the name of the video says, today I'm going to address the haters. So what I hate about my V8, my C8, or what the haters say. Yeah, lots of videos online about, guys, 5 things I hate about my C8. And I guess I'm using an old Scotty Kilmer trick and doing a little bit of clickbait. And I think a lot of times that's what these guys are doing, is clickbait, trying to find some views by coming up with some reasons why they hate their Corvette. So I collected, oh my god, I didn't count them, but there's probably about 20 reasons why I hate my Corvettes, and I'm going to rebut them. The first one is the front end scrapes. And yes, it does. I scraped my nose of that Corvette coming out of the dealership. There's a front lift that you can buy, or that you can order the car with, but it's about $3,000. Now, that lower lip is, on the C8 is 3 pieces, and all the pieces put together are about $300. On the Stingray, it's the lower spoiler that catches. So I could replace that nose 10 times for the cost of the lift. And quite frankly, every single one of my Corvettes so far has scraped. I consider the lower spoiler as a consumable. And actually the C5 and C6, the center spoiler is spring-loaded. That's how much they anticipate you're going to scrape this car. So, yeah, I know, it's something that's kind of unique to the Corvette, and some people that have never owned Corvettes before, they kind of get all bent out of shape over this. But, yeah, I don't know. I don't say that. The car's pretty low to the ground, so that's part of the owning of Corvettes. Now, one guy is saying, I hate the way it sounds too loud on startup. And these cars have an active exhaust system. And until the car started, the valves are open. So yes, on startup, it's loud until it runs for a few seconds. In the case of the C7, C8s, it's electrically controlled. The C6 used to be a vacuum control. But in either way, it needed to be started and run for a few seconds. What else? Oh, there's a fella that said, oh, I think that center stack is too big. And I suppose from the passenger side it's big, but I find that spot right there is a good place to put your hand. So, no, don't agree with that one. What else? I got a big list here. I got a good list. Come on, list. Running the list and hand camera at the same time. All right, what's the next one? The phone charger in the wrong place. I don't know, I don't use it. It is in an odd spot in the center of the car, behind you. But I think the plan was to put the phone in a place where you can't use it. So, I don't know, I don't use it. It gets hot in the rear trunk. Yeah, no kidding, Watson. Yes, it does. But considering that only a few inches away from the trunk space, storage space, is a set of headers that are under normal condition running at 600 degrees, and under racing condition could be above 1,000 degrees. So, no, they did a pretty good job back there. It's going to get a little bit warm, but that's no big deal. Tire noise. Yeah, these tires make a fair bit of noise. It's probably not anything to do with the Corvette. It's got to do with the run flat tire. The run flat tires are loud. They always are. I don't call them run flats. I call them run hard. And how do you get a run flat tire? The only way to get a run flat tire is if you have a sidewall that's stiff enough to hold the car up in the air. On my C5, I switched the car over, and C6, I switched them over from run flat to non-run flat. And not only did it improve traction, It reduced tire noise severely. So that's not a Corvette problem, that's a tire problem. What else do we have here? Oh, it doesn't have the round taillights. Yeah, well, Corvettes, until the C7s had two round taillights. Ferrari still holds to that for the most part. They still have a single round taillight. I'm used to them now. I kind of agreed with it. I always thought that the C6 taillights were the best looking of all the bunch. But I can learn to live with it. Next one is, oh, it's got no manual transmission. Well, guess what, guys? There is no human being on this planet that can do a better job than this DCT transmission. It is phenomenal. However, I'm trying to drive the car. It's getting cold here in Canada. It doesn't like the cold, I can tell you. You could tell it's acting like a manual transmission. It's stiff when it's cold. But other than that, it's been flawless. So instead of having full control over the gears and the clutch and all that, you have to learn the transmission, and you get to learn what it does, and you get to anticipate what it's going to do. And you could also tailor it, in this particular case, by going from tour mode to sport mode to track mode. And it changes the character of the transmission drastically. So in that, and you always have control. In all modes, you have full control over shifts. Unless you're trying to do something totally stupid, it won't let you. But otherwise, upshift, downshift, you can do it manually at will. What else? Air intake noise, that's beauty. That's the best part of this car, except past the exhaust. What else? The electronic doors. That's something you got to get used to. You got to time it just right. And no one guy's complaining, oh, I got to do it twice. And no, when you click the button, you got to push on the door at just the same time. And if you get the timing right, you'll get it just about every time. Next complaint. Blind spots. Oh yeah. This car's got some pretty severe blind spots. I mean, look at this big side bolster here. It's I shouldn't have to say a side bolster, but it's a monster B-pillar. Yes, it has some pretty severe blind spots. Mine is a 1LZ. It doesn't have the blind spot warning. But I'm also an old truck driver. And truck drivers have monster blind spots. So you have to keep a good situational awareness. Be aware of who's where and